Okay, so today we're doing a deep dive into Psalms, chapter 116.
hmm A really striking one.
Yeah, it feels intensely personal, doesn't it? It's like reading someone's journal entry almost. This journey from, well, utter distress to,
For relief and real gratitude.
yeah,
It maps that whole emotional arc.
and it grabs you right from the start. That opening line, I love the Lord for he heard my voice. He heard my cry for mercy.
It's just immediate, like a sigh of relief made audible. There's no buildup, just boom, connection, rescue acknowledged.
Exactly. But then, wow, it pivots quickly to just how bad things were.
Oh, absolutely. It doesn't shy away from the darkness.
Yeah.
Get this incredibly vivid language. The cords of death entangled me. The anguish of the grave came upon me.
Yeah.
I was overcome by trouble and sorrow. It's not vague suffering. You can almost feel the ropes, the weight of the grave.
It paints such a bleak picture. Total entrapment.
Right. And what's amazing is from that absolute pit, what comes out?
It's so simple, just, oh Lord, save me. That's it.
3 words. No long explanation, no bargaining. Just raw need. A direct plea.
And the psalm then tells us why that plea worked, or rather, who responded.
hmm It describes the Lord's nature right then. Gracious and righteous, full of compassion, and specifically a protector of the simple-hearted.
Saved him when he was in great need. It's like the vulnerability itself drew the response.
Precisely. It suggests a divine character that leans into fragility, that listens when you're at your lowest.
So the plea is heard. What happens then? What's the outcome described?
It's not just survival, is it? It's a complete turnaround. Deliverance from death itself, deliverance from tears, from stumbling.
So stability, a firm footing again.
Exactly. And this call to the soul. Be at rest once more, because the Lord's been good. It leads to this ability to walk before the Lord in the land of the living.
Which sounds like a restored life, an active life lived out in relationship again, not just hiding away.
Right. But what I find really fascinating, maybe speaks to why it feels so real, are those moments of brutal honesty within the narrative of faith.
You mean like when he says, I am greatly afflicted, even while believing?
Yes, that. And then that really stark line that comes apparently from dismay. All men are liars.
Yeah, that one always gives me pause. It feels so raw,
Yeah.
almost cynical.
Totally. And its inclusion is powerful, isn't it? It
Right.
tells you that, faith here isn't about pretending everything's okay or that people haven't let you down.
So there's room for hurt, for disappointment, even anger alongside the trust.
It seems so. The psalm holds space for that messy human reality. You can feel utterly crushed, let down by everyone, and still direct your plea, your trust, upward.
Okay, so after all that, the distress, the plea, the deliverance, the raw honesty, where does the psalmist go?
Gratitude. But it's framed as a question, which is interesting. How can I repay the Lord for all his goodness to me? Like the grace feels overwhelming.
Right, what can you do?
And the answers are very action-oriented, very public. It's not just feeling thankful inside. It's lifting the cup of salvation,
Yep.
calling on the name of the Lord, fulfilling vows, offering a thank offering. And notice where this happens.
Where?
In the presence of all his people, in the courts of the house of the Lord. It's communal. Gratitude is shown outwardly, shared.
So it's a public testimony almost.
Exactly. And part of that testimony is declaring who he is now. Truly, I am your servant. You have freed me from my chains. It's finding identity and freedom in that relationship, in that service.
Okay, but then there's that line, the one that often makes you stop and think, especially given the context of being saved from death.
Ah, yes. Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints.
It feels jarring, maybe, after this whole story about clinging to life and being rescued from the grave.
It does seem counterintuitive at first glance.
Yeah.
He fought so hard not to die, and then this statement.
So how do we square that?
Well, maybe that tension is part of the point. It brings us back to why this ancient text still connects,
Yeah.
right? We all know trouble. We all cry out. Sometimes we experience relief. We feel gratitude.
It's a universal cycle.
Yeah, the whole journey resonates. The highs, the lows, even the complicated bits like feeling let down.
So back to that line about death being precious. Given everything else in the psalm, this intense focus on deliverance, on life restored,
Right.
what could that statement be suggesting? What does it tell us, you think, about the value placed on a life lived with in this relationship with the divine, considering both its earthly continuation and its ultimate end?
That's the question, isn't it? What does precious mean in this specific context following this specific story of rescue? Definitely something worth mulling over.